Hello and welcome. I'm Nathan Newbrow, CEO of the Colorado Springs Philharmonic, with our music director, Josep Caballé-Domenech.
Hello.
And we are here at Red Noland Infinity, part of the Red Noland Auto Group, and so thrilled to have their support. And in fact, you drive their automobiles when you're in town.
That's right. Fantastic cars.
So we're very grateful for their sponsorship and support of the Colorado Springs Philharmonic and so many other things in our community. But we're here right now to talk about Mahler's Fifth Symphony.
Such a small piece.
It's a small piece, just a trifle. Actually, it's huge.
Actually, it's huge. It's a huge piece. Yeah, it's a fantastic piece. It's probably one of the most famous, if not the most famous, symphony by Mahler. And even if you don't think that you have heard it, I'm sure you have heard it, because his music has been used with many commercials and many films, and it has been brought out to the general audience a lot, with the Adagietto, especially the most famous part of it. So.
Yeah, a beautiful Adagietto that is all strings.
All strings and
strings.
harp.
And harp, thank you.
And harp. That's the touch.
That's the touch. But it is so moving, this movement, but the piece starts with brass. It starts with a solo trumpet.
Actually, it starts with a solo trumpet, and obviously all the solo trumpet players are looking forward to play that, but are afraid of it because it's a difficult start.
I would be terrified.
I know that when you say Mahler 5, the trumpet players are like, great, and then suddenly you can see that they're wide. It's like. It's the first movement. It's like a funeral march. So the whole movement, it's a funeral march, and it's based actually on a theme that the first trumpet introduces. And actually, it's interesting because he uses the same rhythm as Beethoven 5. So this ta 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 ta, so pa 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 pa, ta 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 ta, and then the whole orchestra gets in, and so it's an amazing movement that prepares actually. I would say the atmosphere of the whole symphony. Yes, it's interesting because this symphony has 5 movements. So usually you're expecting only 4, but in this case Mahler wrote for 5 movements, and actually he got a very big discussion in himself. Because the first movement it's a funeral march that's introduced by the trumpet, and this funeral march, it's in a key that then it never comes back to the symphony again. Then he changed it. But the whole atmosphere of the symphony prepares you to this 4th movement, which is the slow one, the Adagietto, which, as you said, it's one of the most touching pieces in music history, and the one that everyone has listened before. And it's just an amazing piece.
Yeah, I melt when I hear this. I even heard a major orchestra use that as an encore. Once,
yes,
and it just on its own.
It's a little bit long for being an encore because it's over 10 minutes. But it's a great symphony. But it's interesting because I think the difficulty of the symphony, I found it on the 3rd movement actually, and that's the scherzo, and I think more terrified that the trumpet player are the horn players,
right? Especially
the first horn player has a very huge part on this piece, and as I said, it's a very interesting symphony. It breaks a lot of parameters that Mahler was kind of discovering. Like as I said, it has 5 movements, but actually it's divided formally in 3 parts. So the first and the second movement belong to the first part. Then it will be the scherzo, which is the second main part. And then 4th and 5th movement, they go attached, and they are considered the 5 parts. So if you see, even structurally, he plays with the limits, and he really tried to push as much as possible his music.
Many orchestra lovers will have heard this piece before, but some will have not ever heard Mahler's Fifth Symphony before. So what should they listen for throughout the piece?
I think with Mahler, you should listen to everything, and you should let yourself be surprised. I think that in Mahler language is what he tries is really to surprise you and to tell you a very normal history, which what can be in your head at any moment. So you can be, in a very sad moment and suddenly listen to a fanfare or something that it's happy, just for a few seconds, and then come back again to the sad place. Or this kind of surprises. It's what Mahler really, I think, it's a master of it. He really puts you the things like he thinks they are going in your head at that moment, and that's everything can happen basically. So I'll suggest just let be surprised and enjoy, even if you don't understand many things. It's fine. That's what goes on our head basically.
Indeed. Indeed. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you.
And thanks to all of you. Thanks for watching today. If you want to know more about the Colorado Springs Philharmonic, you can find us on the web at csphilharmonic.org. You can find us on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and lots of other places. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you.